Hello? Answer me. Who are you? Vengeance. Vengeance. How dramatic. Today on the Comic Book Report, Batman, Earth 1. Stick around and check it out. Greetings from Gotham, everyone. My name is Dominic, and you're tuning in to the Comic Book Report, where we review comic books and graphic novels so you can get an idea of what to read. And today in the Batcave, we're taking a look at Geoff Johns' Batman, Earth 1, Volume 1. Let's check it out. But first, a few quick facts about today's collection. Batman, Earth 1 was written by Geoff Johns and illustrated by Gary Frank. This collection was first published by DC Comics in 2012. The volume collects Batman Earth 1 Volume 1. This standard size hardcover comes in at 144 pages. At this time, I'd like to issue a general spoiler warning. I will be flipping through the collection in its entirety, as well as commenting on plot points. You've been advised. Okay, and here's our first look at Batman Earth 1 Volume 1. And wow, where to begin with this? I think first of all, it should be noted that this hardcover does not include a dust jacket, and while it is standard size, it is very well put together. The formatting for these Earth 1 collections have always kind of impressed me. I first heard about these with Superman Earth 1, which I've also read, and in general, I just love the whole conceit of this little branch of the DC universe. For those unfamiliar with DC Earth 1, I can kind of liken it to the Ultimate Universe over on the Marvel side of the fence. Basically, this is kind of a side universe within the greater DC Multiverse, so it's not in the mainstream DC continuity, and it's kind of a more modernized reimagining of some of their most iconic heroes or groups. These volumes and any subsequent sequels are in their own branch of continuity, and they just feel fresh, modern. They're not bogged down by decades of continuity. In some cases, characters or villains are retooled or reimagined, and it leads to a really refreshing read. In addition to that, all of these Earth 1 books have some of the industry's top creators. For the Batman collection of Earth 1 books, we have Geoff Johns and Gary Frank. At the time of this recording, there are 3 Batman Earth 1 collections, and you can still find them in hardcover, paperback, digital, and I think they're coming out with a complete paperback pretty soon as of the time of this recording. One difference between this and Marvel's Ultimate Universe is, unlike the Ultimate Universe that had ongoing titles each month, these are really prestige format kind of books or collections that are only released intermittently. So I know for me, they felt a bit special when each one kind of came out. And just one more logistical detail before I dive into the plot and art in this book, and that is that the pages in this book are a nice glossy print page. Okay, and as far as the plot goes, this is a retelling of some of Batman's origin. It kind of starts in media res, present day, with Batman chasing a criminal. He trips and falls off a rooftop, and you get this feeling that this is super early in Batman's career. He's definitely not in his prime. He's not up to snuff. He doesn't have all his gears or gadgets. This is kind of a Batman, maybe year 1 era. This is very early, some of his first adventures under the cape and cowl. We get a retelling of the murder of his parents, as well as how he meets Alfred, who Alfred is, how he teams up with Lucius Fox, his first meeting with Gordon, etc., etc. I think Geoff Johns was certainly a great pull for this series. He's so great at making character-driven storytelling and characters that have authenticity that you just really feel for. And it's just great to have him at a foundation for a Batman universe book. And when you couple that with the incredible art and pencil work from Gary Frank, you have a 1-2 punch for this book here. One of my reasons for rereading this collection for this video was actually the fact that I didn't realize that Gary Frank was the one that was paired with Geoff Johns for this book, and after I just reviewed Geiger not too long ago, I realized I wanted to read more from this collaborative team. In the past, I've read Superman's Secret Origin, and like I said, Geiger, but I was surprised to remember that they collaborated on this as well, and it really shows. This is a great team. Character designs are very crisp and polished and just really feel like the Gotham characters I know and love. Another reason I wanted to go ahead and give this book a reread was simply because recently I saw Robert Pattinson's The Batman movie. And I remember when that movie was being promoted, I believe the director said he drew influences from comic books such as Batman Year One, Batman Ego, and Batman The Long Halloween. And while I'll certainly say I could see glimpses of that in the film, I think that maybe the largest influence, at least I feel like it had to be, is actually this book, Batman Earth 1. And I'm not sure why it wasn't discussed with those other books. I don't know if it's because it's considered less of a classic, so maybe he didn't want to use them as buzzwords, but there is so many details in this that really scream the Pattinson Batman. We have the early, kind of not polished Batman. He's gritty. We have a more seasoned and kind of aggressive Alfred, along with the fact that he even says, "I'm vengeance." He even uses vengeance in this book. At any rate, it's a fun read when I had the lens of that Batman film, using this as potentially one of the pieces of source material. Another big plot element to this is the Penguin as the mayor and how he might be linked to a criminal conspiracy within the book. Batman's trying to hunt down anyone who has links to his father's murder. He thinks that it could be the Penguin. We as readers know that the Penguin is behind hiring this crazy happy birthday themed serial killer or something, and it's generally a lot of fun. We're also introduced to the young Barbara Gordon, as well as a celebrity famous Harvey Bullock, which is kind of fun to see. Another couple cool innovative features I feel like are you get to see the eyes under the cowl, which lends so much humanity to the character of Batman. You really get to see Bruce Wayne through it all. Another interesting note is that they don't really use the inner exposition first person bubbles in this. It's a lot of just dialogue. So we don't get treated to a lot of Batman's interior life. But still a great self-contained story that made me hungry for more. Batman Earth 1 feels authentically Batman while being refreshingly new. And now that we've reached the end, let's give this collection a grade. For this revitalizing relaunch of Batman that gets to play in its own universe, helmed by the dynamic duo of Johns and Frank, The Comic Book Report undoubtedly awards Batman Earth 1 Volume 1 an A-. This is a must-read, and it's a high recommend from me. Have you ever read Batman Earth 1 or any of the other Earth 1 titles? Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, this has been the Comic Book Report. Thank you for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, have a good one.